Sorry.
Just wanted to ask you about what did you guys do well last time you faced Columbus, and how do you kind of go back to trying to do that tonight?
Well, it was one of our best games, not just road games, but I think it's typical of our team. When we're able to occupy the offensive zone, that's how we play defense. And that's the new NHL. More time you spend in the offensive zone, the less time you're going to be spending defending, and that's success. And that's what we did in that game. We had long shifts in the O-zone, and we protected the puck, and a couple of times it ended up being goals for us, but more important, that's where we spent the time, and that the winning programs have extended O-zone time, and when you have that going, it's a good thing.
Sorry, I just want to ask you about Colby Cave a little bit, and what do you like about his game, and what do you think he has to improve about his game?
When he first came up, Colby played with a real edge, and he was really nasty at the puck and very effective. And when he plays that way, he looks like a guy that can play in the National Hockey League. But in order to play that way, you got to do it consistently. And he's still learning to make the adjustment from being a go-to guy in the American League to being a role player in the NHL. And the role-playing role that he's going to end up as a player in the NHL has to be one with a real edge. And when he plays with it, he's effective. When he's not, then he's searching for the game. And we talked to him actually in the last couple of days about getting back to his identity that he brought forward when he first came. And when he does that, he wins faceoffs. He's a really good penalty killer. But sometimes that's a mental thing that doesn't happen overnight. But he's shown the ability to do it, and then now he's got to find a way to do it consistently to be that third and fourth line player in the NHL. And if he does it, then he'll have a good career.
Ken, heading into the road trip, you were talking about how important it was for the team to win 2 of 3 hockey games the rest of the way. Now, that goal wasn't achieved on the 3-game road trip. So how does that change the narrative or the mindset from here on in?
A lot. It puts a lot of pressure on coming close to running the table. It allowed other people to get involved. It allowed other teams who could win a couple of games in a row. And we said that we need to win 2 of 3 and then do our damage at home starting tonight. But this puts pressure on us to really perform these home games at a high level and probably come close to winning them all, just to even think about staying in the race. But to me, it's get ready for tonight, get ready for that. But winning 2 of 3 gives you a little bit of wiggle room. Now there's no wiggle room.
Can you talk about, you play better, of course, when you're in the offensive zone more. The overall, just the quickness and the puck moving from out of your own zone, how do you improve that as a group? Because when your team struggles, it seems you're struggling moving the puck quickly up ice.
I don't see us struggling to move it quickly. I see us struggling to use the middle of the ice, Jason. And if you look at any teams that are quick transition, they find the middle of the ice, and they're not afraid to. There's a risk and a dynamic to play that way. But any of the successful teams use the middle of the ice way more than they use the boards. And you can't be a good transition team if you just keep putting it on the boards. You know, you end up chipping it out and chasing it. You don't end up with possession metrics at all. You can't be afraid to use the middle of the ice on your exits. And like I said, there's a risk to play that way, but it's the only way that, if you look at all the good teams, that's the way they play, is they use that option quite a bit. Second part for me is we didn't win what I call, we won the critical ice game in Arizona. We were much better top of circle to top of circle than they were. And we lost both games, especially in the third period in Vegas, and we were swamped in the first period in St. Louis. We lost all the little battles inside the blue lines and never got out. So even if you do bang it up the boards and you don't get out on first touch, now you're stalled out. But to me, more than anything, we went the safe route, and the safe route does not work. You got to be able to put it in the middle.
So it's safe to say then you're not coaching your guys to ring it around the boards. Is that just then a lack of confidence from your defenseman to want to use the middle of the ice, or a lack of ability to use the middle of the ice?
I would say a combination of a lot of things. Sometimes it's the support's not there quick enough. Sometimes it's a little bit of impatience in the middle of the ice, and sometimes we're not looking at that option. Sometimes under pressure, the first option is to get the hell out of there. And that option, if you do that, that's fine, but then you got to win the next battle. And the next battle is you got to get out. And you look at the scoring chances, the 3 scoring chances that St. Louis had that weren't goals in the first period, all 3 got up to the winger on the boards and none of them got out. And now we're buried inside our zone and they get quality scoring chances. So to me, there's a combination. I think the first thing is getting back to position, what we call spots and spacing. You got to get back there with a sense of urgency. And when you don't have it, you're too far away. The D have no options, they put it on the boards.